Hi everyone. See, in the previous session, we already discussed about the concepts in number analogy. So what is analogy? The establishing the relationship between two given entities. The entities may be words, numbers or letters. Okay. Then after that we discussed about different types of analogy questions, number analogy questions, like the questions can be framed on squares, cubes, factors, multiples, sum of digits, multiplication of digits, combinations, and then as well as prime numbers as well. In this today's session, we are going to solve the various types of questions, okay, from the number analogy. We see these questions. For example, if there is a question something like this, she's asking like 72 and 40 in the same way and 30. Okay, so we try to establish the relation between 72 and 40. So now first thing you have to think that first we have to think that is it 72 near any square or is it near to any cube? No. But is there any common factor between 72 and 40? Yes, there is a common factor between 72 and 40. So what is that one? 8. So 8 9 times is 72. 8 5 times is 40. This is common, 8 and 8. Now what is the ratio? That is 9:5. So it is based on a factor. So you can solve this question quite easily. In the same way, here also your answer, you have to apply the same relation here and get the answer 9:5. Right? Now see here, 5 and 30. How many times it is increasing? So it is increasing by 6 times. In the same way, here 9 and it is how many times it is increasing? It is also multiplied by 6. So your answer is 54 is the answer. So your answer is option B is the answer. Right? So this question is based on what means? Remember that this question is based on factors. So this is one of the factor type of question where you get different types of ratios to solve the question. Okay. Similarly, if you see this particular question, it is 6, 12. Similarly, 20, how much? The moment you see this question, many people think that 6, 12 means multiplication 2 times is 12. In the same 20, 2 times is 40. But it is not there in the option. So what we have to think, it's not double. So is there any, this value is near the squares? Is there? We need to check that. For example, you take 6. I can write 6 like either 2 square plus 2. That means the format is n square plus n. Or I can write like even like 3 square minus 3. It means it is in the format of n cube minus n also. Now you know that anything that is in the form of n square plus n, if anything that is in the form of n square plus n, I can write this like n into n plus 1 also. So when I write when I can write like n into n plus 1, the same 6 can't I write like 2 into 3? Yes or no? N into n plus 1 format. So you can represent in the either way. Similarly, if you take 12, is it that 12 is the value near the square? Yes. How can I write? I can write like 3 square plus 3, that is n square plus n format, or I can write like 4 square minus 4, that is n cube minus n format, or as it is in the format of n square plus n, I can write like n into n plus 1. So that is the reason I can write like 3 into 4. Similarly, you have to, this whatever the relation that you got, you have to apply this relationship to the question and you try to get the answer. For example, if you take in the format of n square plus n, so how I can write this 20? That is 4 square plus 4. If I want to format in the format of n cube minus 1, I can write like 5 square minus 5. If I want to write in the format of n into n plus 1, because it is n square plus n, so I can write like n into n plus 1. So easily I can write like 4 into 5. So you can apply anything and get the answer. So here 2, here it is 3, here 3, here 4, 2 into 3, 3 into 4. The same way 4 into 5. And what's your answer? So similarly, I can say that if I write in the format of n square plus n, it is like 5 square plus 5. If I write in the format of n square minus n, then 4 square plus 4, it will be like 6 square minus 6. If I want to write in the format of n into n plus 1, then my answer will be like 5 into 6. So in all the cases, your answer is 30. So that is option B is the answer. Okay. So in this case, for any one question, you will have different types or different ways of solving the question. You can approach any method to solve this question. Okay. Now we'll see one more question. It is like 5, 135, 7, how much? So 5, 135. Similarly, 7 is how much he is asking. Now I know that if you see this question, clearly I can know that 5 and 135. Is it 135 is not a multiple of 5? Yes, it's a multiple of 5. How many times it is increasing? How many times? So I can clearly say that it is multiplied by 27 times. If you similarly you try to multiply the 7 around 27 times, if you want to multiply that, so 7 20s means 140, 7 7s are 49, 140 plus 49 is 189. Is there 189 in the option? So 189 is not there in the option. But if I see this, once its multiple is not getting, multiple in the sense the ratio is 1:27 and 1:27 is not possible. What is the next thing I can do? So it is 5 is a small number and 135 is a very big number. So when can from small number you can increase to a big number. So one is multiplication, not possible. Then what's the next thing I can try? I can try squares as well. If I try squares, 5 square is 25. And again 25 I have to multiply it by even 5 times also. It's only around 125. Then followed by again 10. Instead of that, if you see cubes, if you cube cubes, I can write it is 5, but definitely I can write it is like 5 cube. So 5 cube means somewhere else we get like 125. But extra is there, 10 extra. So you have to add plus 10 or 5 cube plus 10. So what kind of question it is? This question is a combination type. It's a combination type. In these combinations, what we are doing? First we are doing cube, then followed by what? Addition. That is n cube and then addition. Already I said that in the combinations, squares addition, squares subtraction, squares multiplication, squares division is possible. In the same way, cube addition, cubes subtraction, cubes multiplication, cubes and divisions, all these different types of combinations are possible. Similarly, it's 5 cube plus 10. Similarly, your answer is 7. So obviously here 7 cube plus 10. So 7 cube means 343 plus 10 is 353. So that leads to answer is 353 is the answer. So your answer is option A is the answer. Okay. So this is how you need to approach in the exam. So approach is very, very important to solve these questions in the exam. Similarly, you see one more question. You are having 83 and followed by 25. Similarly, 29 is how much? See, when you see this question, similarly, there are some clues in this question. For example, if you see this question, is it any near the values of squares? Yes. What is that number? 25. 25 is a square. Now, similarly, if here you are having square, means obviously here also you will have square. Yes or no? So now check the options. Is there any square? Option A 44, option B is 49. So there is a high chance of 14 can be your answer. So here also square, the possibility is here also square. Now what you have to do is you need to check how you got this particular square. So by using these numbers 8 and 3, how can you bring 5 square? Because 25 is 5 square. So by using these two numbers, how can you bring 25? So simply your answer is 8 minus 3, then you can convert into 5, then you make it as a 5 square. Similarly, here also 2 minus 9, then square. So that is equal to 7 square, and your answer will be 49. So you can see the 49, option B as the answer. Okay. See, there are many ways of doing this. What some people will do means, even you go for even sum of digits also. Yes or no? For example, I can say that, okay, what is 8 plus 3? 8 plus 3 is 11. What is 2 plus 5? 2 plus 5 is also 7. So what's the difference between these two? The difference is 4. Now we can see what? 2 plus 9. What is 2 plus 9? 11. How much should be the difference here? Again, 4. 4 should be the difference. Here 4 means here you should have what? 7. So what they will do, they will try to check the options. Okay, 4 plus 4 means 8, not 7. 4 plus 9, 13, no. 4 plus 0, 4. 6 plus 3, 9, no. See, even though it's also the option is not there, but even people will try to go with what sum of digits as well. So they will try to do sum of digits and they will try to get the answer as well. Okay. So this how the approach. Okay. What we have to learn here is the entire analogy. It's about approach. Whenever you see the question, it is what type it is, whether it is a square or a cube or a multiple or a factor or a sum of digits or multiplication of digits. So the student needs to identify it. Now similarly you see this question, 17, 60, similarly 20, how much? And you're having different options. And the first thing is there any squares related to this? Okay, squares related to this means, for example 17 is there. How can I write 17? I can write like 4 square plus 1. Okay, and how can I write 60? Something like 8 square minus 4 also. But when it is like square plus 1, here also it should be square plus 1. Is it possible here some square plus 1? No. So when it is not possible, simply I cannot take squares here. Can I take cubes? No. Because 17, no, I cannot take any cube. Yes, I can take like 3 cube minus 10. But similarly here, which cube minus 10? Is it possible? No, even that is also not possible. Now, can I take any factors or multiples? No. Why? 17 is a prime number. Okay? And moreover, if it a, so I can take the factors as well. So then what I can do? I already said that combination becomes very, very important. So this is a combination type of question. Okay? So what type of combination here? 17 and 60. How can I relate this? 17, 3 times 51. And again you can do what? Plus 9. So it's what type of question? This question comes under combination type. This question comes under combination type, where you are having the combination of multiplication and then combination of additions can be seen. Similarly, you try to apply the similar combination. For example, 20, 3 times 60, and again you have to go to add some 9. So your answer is 69. So answer is option B. So clearly we can say that it's a combination type of question. So that's how we need to check the various types of formats, whether in the squares, in the cubes, in the factors, or even you could check sum of digits and the subtraction of digits also. Okay, even like you can, like for example 1 plus 7 is 8, again 6 plus 0 is 6, so here 8, here 6, and here 2 plus 0 means 2, and which one option? So 8, 6, so obviously minus 2 means here you should get 0, which is not possible. Okay, so we even can't do with the sum of digits as well. Can we check with the multiplication of digits? No, not possible, because if you go 6 into 0, 0, 2 into 0, 0, so even multiplication of digits is also not possible. Now we see one more question. 6, 64, similarly 11, how much? Again, what is the clue? I said that in this type of questions you have a clue. The clue is here 64. Why? Because I know that 64 is a square. So wherever there is a square, this like act as a clue for you. Similarly here square means obviously your answer is also will be some square. Yes or no? So in the options, is there any squares? So 144 is a square, 116 is a square, and 121 is also square. So except D, remaining all are squares only. Now you try to check how you got this square. It's very easy. It's very easy type of question. Why? Because 6, for example 84, which is square? 8 square. But here how much? 6. So what I have to do? For 6, I have to add plus 2, and then you make it square. Similarly here also, you take 11, okay, you add plus 2, and then you make it what? Square. So total 13 square. Your 13 square means your answer is 169. So 169 is your answer. Again the clue is here, this square. Because if you are unable to recognize this type of clues in the exam, you will end up solving the same question for 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes. In the exam, you should solve this question in less than half a minute. That is 30 seconds. You see one more question here. Dash 63 and 8, how much? The moment I see this question, is this values near any squares or cubes? If you carefully observe this, these values are near squares and cubes. For example, let's check here. How can I write it? 63, I can write in 2 ways. That is, I can write like 4 cube minus 1, or I can write like 8 square minus 1. So there is a 2 possibilities are there. Now in the similarly, I will check this to 26. How can I write 26? Like I can write like 3 cube minus 1, Or in terms of squares, I can write like 5 square plus 1. Because it is square minus 1, here square plus 1. So this type is not possible. So you try to eliminate this process. Because it is plus 1 means here also plus 1 should be there. Here minus 1 means here also minus 1 should be there. Here minus 1, here plus 1, it doesn't work. So now it is in terms of cubes, right? So now you can see here. How can I write 8? There are two ways of writing the 8. That is, one is 3 square minus 1. In the same way, 2 cube. Okay. Now similarly, come here now. So first 4 cube minus 1. So 3 cube minus 1, 3 square minus 1. 4 cube minus 1, 4 square minus 1. So what is 4 square minus 1? 15. Is there 15 in the option? Yes, 15 is there. So obviously this is the answer. Okay. So if you see the moment you see the question, now you have to understand that whether the question is in the cube format or whether it is in the square format. Similarly, we will see one more question. That is 64, how much? Then followed by 72 and 53, right? Again, see here, is there any logic? Because it is square here, it is not square here. Is it near the value of squares? No. For example, take 72 and 53. Is there any factor? No, 53 is a prime number. With a prime number, you cannot construct any kind of factor, is not possible. So square not possible, cube not possible, multiplication not possible, factors are not possible. Then what we have to take? I said that then you have to take sum of digits. You check with sum of digits. If you check with sum of digits, what is 5 plus 3? So 5 plus 3 is equal to 8. Similarly, 7 plus 2 is 9. So 9 and 8. Similarly, you come to the answer here. 6 plus 4, 10. So here 9, 8. Here 10 means here should be 9. So which option gives you 9 here? Clearly, your answer is 54. So 54 means 5 plus 4. 5 plus 4 gives your answer as 9. Okay. See, till now, in number analogy, we saw different types of questions in analogy. So in these questions, our approach is mainly towards to find out whether the given question is in the format of squares or cubes or factors or multiples or even like sum of digits, multiplication of digits or even prime numbers as well. So similarly, in the next session, we are also going to solve some more questions from the analogy. Thank you.